guys, it's Paula from PSE Creations. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you're returning. Today's video is a flip through of the bead junk journal that we somewhat kind of sort of made together. I have some craft with me videos that I have posted, and those will be linked down in this description box below if you're interested. I believe the only part that we did not do together is embellishing the cover itself, just with these, three components. And of course the bookends and the eyelet, and then sewing the signatures. And we didn't do that together because I'm not that, everybody has their own way of sewing signatures in, and mine's a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere. So I find whatever method or methods work for me, and sometimes they may be unconventional. I try not to measure, and when I do measure, I tend to make mistakes. So anyways, this is a flip through of this book. This book has three signatures. It has a 2 and almost a ½ inch spine. It is what I call a flexible cover, because it is hard, but like chipboard, but it's not as flexible as like the squishy Amazon mailers or something to that extent that I've also made junk journals out of. It measures 8¾ by 5½. It has metal book corners, as I believe I mentioned. It has eyelets right here in the front and in the back cover. It is sewn all the way around. Fabric on the outside and on the inside. Ribbon as a closure, black ribbon as our closure. Has definitely room to expand. It is not an alligator mouth, in my opinion, because of the 2½ inch spine. We have vintage rickrack here and some lace just covering the spine, and actually does extend to the back. And then I added these little sunflowers as like 3-dimensional onto the fabric itself. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, and the number of pages. So there's 15 papers per signature, and if you multiply 15 by 4, which is front and back, you get 60, and then 60 by 3 signatures, you get 180. So 180 writing spaces or pages. Pages are spaces that you can add photos or memorabilia, with pockets and such, and so on and so forth. All right, let's go ahead and get started. And the ties, as you can see, they're just, you can change them if you want to, but they're just like this. And then again, much space to grow. So the front inside again is covered by fabric and is sewn all the way around. Actually, yeah, the inside of the cover. Here is some lace that I made a little pocket, and then there's just a die cut beehive. And I did use Echo Park paper pack. I only used 3 12 by 12 sheets of cardstock from the paper pack. And I also used some of the little cards, like the little cutout cards that they use, that they have as part of the paper pack. So I did add some of those as well in here. Here's a vintage flashcard. Sorry. I'm going to try to find my words today. A promise. And so this is part of the paper pack, and we made just a little pocket. So each signature starts off with one of the cardstocks from the paper pack. And so we made a little pocket. We also added, it's double-sided paper. We added a little bee stamp right there. And we just added one of the cards from, again, the paper pack. And then this is just a little reproduction, little ephemera card. We have coffee dyed paper, avocado dyed paper, and food dyed paper in here. So a lot of dyed paper. And some of them have patterns based on the pan that I used to dry them. This one, I created a little belly band. Again, I used the 3 12 by 12 cardstock sheets from the paper pack. And that's what I used for the belly bands, as well as the little first page, little pocket covers for each of the signatures. So this belly band I did a little bit different. I just sewed here and sewed here, and then I did glue a little bit right down here, and it made it to be like this. So you can also write or add something here, and then you can also use it as a belly band itself. And this again is just one of those cards, so very, very easy peasy. And then it just goes like that. So that was the first time I think I saw somebody do that. I know I saw somebody do that, and I can't remember who it was. If I remember who it was, I will link their video down below. But I thought it was a pretty ingenious idea, I thought, because again, you get the room to still write completely on your bottom sheet if you have a blank bottom sheet, and then you can also use it as a belly band. This is just a page from a floral book, and it was just greenery. This is I started to do in my journals not only the half pockets using recycled mailer envelopes, but I started doing full pockets as well. So I thought that that was pretty cool, and I just added a few stamps right there just to give it a little bit of additional decoration. And then I made this little journaling card. Again, most of my journaling cards, if they're not part of like a paper pack or something, are food containers that are recycled. All right, so we have that one there. This is just a reproduction envelope. I'm sorry, a reproduction invoice. Here is a avocado. I think this is food dyed, actually, paper. And then I just, again, just paper clipped one of those little cards, cut up cards from the paper pack, and it's on with a little heart paper clip. These paper clips, I've mentioned them before, so cute, but sometimes I'm like, oh. This is actually a ledger page. It's not written, but it's so fragile that I did have to put tape right here where I creased it. But this is page 157, so it's ledger paper. This is an old geographics map, so it's a piece of it. It's not the whole map, obviously. Music sheets, vintage music sheets, and I just made little corner pockets using a coffee filter. And then I did add a number of different vintage postcards. I added this one just because it had the flowers, and bees like flowers. So this one is from Costa Brava. That might be a date, but I don't know. This is Spain. So, and then this is just a little sticker. I think this is a sticker. Yes, this is a sticker. I believe this was part of the paper pack as well. We were meant to be. That's so cute. Here's another pocket. It has a little bee stamp and just a little flower. And this one doesn't have anything in it, but it's a little pocket. And this music sheet was from 1949. It was copyright renewed 1949. This is just lined yellow paper, just to give it a dimensional different size. Black bean dyed typewriter paper. So this is much thinner. If you can feel it, it's much thinner than the copy paper that I have in here. This is just another page from another. This is a floral book, a flower and plant book from the 1960s, I believe. But I love the coloring of the pages on these. 1960s dictionary page, but I actually added one of these side pockets that I make, like the side clusters, and made it into a little pocket. And then I added a flower sticker and a bee stamp, and then at the bottom I added a little bit of stamping with grass. This has another postcard from Barcelona, and again, lots of flowers in this market here, so I thought it went well. Oh, it says Barcelona Rambla de las Flores. So very cool. Flores is flowers. Sorry. Here's the other side of the dictionary page. Again, it's 1960s dictionary page. And there is some very, very, very frilly, I want to call it, but maybe you can't really tell, yellow ribbon that's been glued on there. So we have food dyed paper. This is actually green and it just has a little bit of a beehive starting down at the bottom stamp. This is another music sheet. I don't know what year this one's from. I know it's probably vintage. And this one was coffee dyed, either coffee dyed or tea dyed. I'll be honest, I'm not sure which one it was. And this one says the flower song. So I thought it went very fittingly. I kept that as is because I liked the paper and how it looked. So, but you can do something. And then the middle of the first signature is a page from a floral book. And there's a bee actually in this flower in the center. And then there's a bee that I stamped. But this is the real bee. And then I have a fabric tab right here that's been sewn on. So this is the middle of our signature. Again, this is the music sheet that has been coffee or tea dyed. No year on it because I think I cut that part off of it because those pages are usually pretty big. This is one of my little recycled mailer envelope, junk mail envelopes pockets, but this is the shorter version. It's not the bigger version. And I did make a tag. Be happy. Oh, happy bee day. Happy bee day. Get it? Ah. And again, this is a recycled food container. Did a little bit of stamping right there and then stamped the little swirly here. This is the paper doily. And then this is a die cut bee. And that paper was also part of the paper pack from the, this is it right here. Oh, this was Photo Play. Okay, this was not Echo Park. This was Photo Play. And it was Tula and Norbert's Sweet as Honey paper collection. So here's where the yellow came from. All right, again, food dyed paper. Here is the other side of the 1960s dictionary page. And here's another little envelope, mailer, junk journal mailer, or junk mail envelope that I recycled. A little bee stamp and a little flower, a little greenery down there, and then the beehive that's forming up there, and the tag that we created on this one. So this is sewed all the way around, added this welcome friends sticker, stamped these two bees, and then also stamped the hive and then some grass down here. And again, it's a recycled food container. All right. This is the other side of the plant book, and I just added, this is vintage, a vintage, I think this was a vintage curtain, and I just added a little bit of a ruffle to it, or I created it into a ruffle, and then I just glued that in on there. So most of the signatures will be the same, so I will go through them a little quicker once we get to the second and third signature. This is the black bean typewriter paper, yellow writing paper. This is the vintage music sheet. I did decoupage a napkin flower on there, and then I stamped a little bee right there and one right there. This is the map, and I did add a little bit of floral washi tape right there just to give it a little bit of dimension. This is the other side of our vintage ledger, and again a little bit of floral washi tape here on this food dyed paper. Reproduction invoice, the other side of that. The other side of the plant, I think it was a plant book. It wasn't a magazine, it was a plant book, another one that I had. I have a lot of floral and plant books, and this was just a page out of it. Coffee dyed paper, and then this is the other pocket of the first signature, and again reproduction postcard, and just a little time stamp or a time card just folded down. I believe I got these at the Dollar Tree, but I thought it was a good little thing. And then I stamped another bee right there. Okay, so signature 2. So this is signature 1, signature 2. This is the cover, which is again the paper from the Photo Play I think it was called, yeah, collection, paper collection, made it into a pocket. Same concept. This is a reproduction cardstock like type of paper type of cardboard paper type of postcard, and another vintage flashcard. Food dyed paper with a little honeycomb building right there stamp. This was the flowers and plant book. I added a little fabric flip right down here. Added a little piece of scrap coffee dyed paper, and then just stamped a little B there, and it's just a little hidden writing spot. I thought it's nice. We have, oh, I didn't even mention the lace on the other one except for the yellow frou-frou one. This is vintage white lace on the end here. Here we have one of my little side clusters with a little honeycomb and a little bee. And I don't know if you can see the flower because the color that I picked was maybe a little muted to all the words and stuff. And then a little bit of greenery grass right there. And it's a little side pocket. So it's a cluster and a side pocket. And I have one of these reproduction postcards in there. Thought it was a beautiful yellow flower. I think this is a sunflower. But you know when it kind of like it's done. Another reproduction envelope or invoice. And this is just a little journaling card that I created, and then another, so it's just construction paper, a little stamp, and then a little die of a honeycomb that you can use it as a little journaling card. It's paper clipped in, food dyed paper, and then one of those cutouts from the paper packs. Here is another page of the vintage ledger. And here's our map, National Geographic. I believe these maps were from the 1940s, either 1940s or 1950s, if I remember correctly. A little washi tape down here. The washi tape also helps that I think that some of these had a little bit of a, this one right here, you can see it was a little torn right here, or maybe you can't see. It was a little torn right there. So what I did was I just added the washi tape on the other side to give it a little bit of stability. And then this is one of my bigger recycled junk mailer envelopes, and there's a bigger honeycomb forming there and the bee that's heading there, and a little bit of stamped grass at the bottom. And here is this journaling card. She is the queen bee. It says so right there. And we have a die cut. I love this little thing. It was so cute. Paper doily in the background with some vintage book page, and then the little flower, and then the grass. And again, this is a recycled mailer. I mean, a recycled food container. And this is on a vintage music sheet. And this one was from 1932, it looks like. That's when it was renewed. So here's a music sheet here itself. The yellow page, coffee dyed or tea dyed paper. Here's another of that one plant book that I had. But this is more greenery plants. And here is my fabric ruffle using a vintage curtain. I know you're probably thinking, who in the world would have a curtain with that much? I mean, if you saw the florals on that, you'd be like, wow. And this is like a muted yellow. It's not like a bright yellow, but it's not a mustard yellow. It's like a muted yellow. I don't know. Here you have the 1960s dictionary page, and again, one of my mailers pockets, but the shorter ones. And this one says, always be kind. So this one I actually used a little bit of stamping, and then I used some of the stickers that came in the paper pack, sewed all the way around, added a little fabric scrap that I had, and yeah, cute journaling tag. And these I think are good sizes because I feel like you can add even a picture here. So if you wanted to add a picture or a writing, whatever you choose to add to it. I mean, I don't know how you do your journaling, but black bean dyed typewriter paper. We're getting to the middle of the signature. Here's that, again, the music sheet that's been coffee dyed or tea dyed. And here is our middle signature layout. It's that page from another floral book. And here's another bee. I looked through the floral book to see which ones had bee designs, and those are the 3 that I picked. So I got very lucky that I found at least 3 of them. So that is why I made it the middle of each of my signatures. And you know, it is shiny. It is shiny paper because it's like the books are shinier. They're not matted, but I think it's great contrast. I think it looks a little bit shinier right now because my 5,359 lights that I have on. But yeah, so, and I don't know if I mentioned, but little fabric tag there as well. And here is another mailer. Now this one was a yellow envelope, so I was very excited about that because I've had that in my little stash where I had it ready to go to use somewhere, but I didn't know where. Here's my little flower stamp, and then here's my little bee. And then this one I added just a little flower sticker. I added a coffee filter that was been coffee dyed because we used it as a coffee filter before underneath as a base with the book page. And then we have two bees right here that I stamped on, and then a little these I believe I got at the Dollar Tree. So they're the little ones that come out during the fall, and then I just cut off or remove the stem and just I did hot glue it on though. I hot glued it because you get more hold with hot glue. Well, you get faster holds. Let me reiterate that. Okay. So, and then again, this is the 1960s dictionary page. This is the same white lace that I had right here, but I actually dyed it using, I think this one was Tim Holtz, the Tim Holtz, whatever his black one is. I can't remember what it's called. Soot. I think it's called Soot. But that's, I just, you know, used my blender and just, you know, it takes very well. It's cotton. The cotton that it is, it takes the coloring very well, as you can see, because there's a difference in the coloring, right? I wanted black, but obviously I got gray. So maybe it doesn't take it very well. Let me take that back. I don't know. Or maybe it was just me. Here's the other side of that houseplant book page. Here's another belly band. And this one's actually a belly band. It's not the little flippy one. Sewed on the top, sewed on the bottom. And then you can, this is one of those reproduction postcards, floral postcards. Oh. Here's just the other side of that. It's copy dyed paper, yellow paper. Here's another decoupage napkin flower. And then here's the little bee. It's going for the flower. The music sheet, the map page. This is the vintage ledger. And I tried on the other ones to keep this little flip too, but it broke off. This one didn't because I glued it. I mean, I taped it and stuff. So this one we're okay with, but it was just so fragile that this is why I had to add the washi tape there as well. Food dye paper, the invoice, the reproduction. And then this one I just left as an actual cluster. And then I just did a little stamp of the beehive and then just a little cutout, just different type of bee on that one. And this is again the plant book that I think is from the 50s or 60s. With, I love the paper color of it. Another food dyed paper, and then this is the last page of the second signature. This is one of those what are these called? Treasure every moment. There's a name for these. I can't remember what it's called. You guys tell me in the chat what these are called. They're little cards that come. But I had some, and I thought flowers went well, and the word happy, and then again another flashcard, vintage flashcard, and the last signature. There's going to be no surprises here. This is the scrapbook paper, again from the collection, the photo play collection, and made it into a pocket. Sewed it all around on the bottom because I did have to cut it off so that because it was directional, and I wanted the little houses to be going the correct direction. If they're not, it's not a big deal, but I caught it, so I made sure that I did it. And then I have the little bee stamped right there. In these pockets, you have another one of these cards. I thought bicycle spring. That's when you see a lot of bees. And another reproduction card with the floral flower. I could add a bee right there, but I figured I wouldn't mess with this in case the recipient wants to do something different. Maybe use it somewhere else. Maybe they don't want to use it in a bee journal. Coffee dyed paper. Here's another page of that houseplant book. Here's that vintage white lace again. And we have the reproduction invoice. Food dyed paper. Oh, this is the typewriter paper, but it's food dyed. Here's the vintage ledger. Here's the vintage map page from National Geographic's, the music page, and it just has one of those little cards from the paper pack, just paper clipped on there. And then here is my belly band and a reproduction postcard here. And on this belly band, since I decided to flip it and put it to the solid color, which is the beehive, I also added a little bee stamp and then a little flower stamp. Here is just a yellow writing paper. Here's another sheet of the typewriter paper that's been black bean dyed. Here's the book, the floral book, the other one that I have that is not glossy. This is obviously matte. Our little ruffle made out of the vintage curtain, floral curtain. This is one of my bigger recycled junk mailer pockets. And I did use my Cricut and I just cut out the word bee using some of that scrapbook paper that we had left. And then a little hive. I did a little bit of a washi tape right there and then a little bee. And then the tag that goes in there is the honeycomb. And then you have the 3 bees that are directionally going into it, away from it, towards it. And then this one has a little swirly. I couldn't help but not add it. A little bit of stamping down here of grass. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry. Yellow doily, paper doily in the background, and then also a coffee filter in the background. Music, not music paper, but vintage book pages. And again, this is a recycled food container. I know it's very repetitive, but every design obviously is slightly different. So I do want to share all the goodies that are in here, obviously, so that you can see if you're interested what you're going to get. Again, this is a 1960s vintage dictionary page, food dyed colored copy paper. Here's another page of the flower song. So it was 2 pages. So it's music vintage sheets that's been coffee dyed. And here's the middle of our signature. And oh my goodness, look at this bee. So again, the middle of the signature, I got lucky. I was able to find another page of my floral magazine or floral book that had a bee with a flower. So I went ahead and added that. And here's my fabric flip. And oh, if in case you haven't noticed, what I did was for my signatures, I actually tied from the outside instead of the inside. So you won't see any ties here on the inside. I mean, you see the string that I used, but you won't actually see like the knots and stuff. That's all on the spine, which you can't really tell because I covered it with fabric. I am enjoying doing that method versus because I usually don't hang and dangle any dangles. So I'm like, well, let's hide it. Let's make it a cleaner look. The other look's not bad. I'm just saying I wanted a cleaner look. Music sheet, not coffee dyed, food dyed paper. Here's another yellow envelope that I got. Another yellow mailer, and here's a flower and a bee stamp. And then in this one, I actually cut up one of those little cards that came as part of the paper pack, and I just cut out the bee and the be happy sign that's part of it. I added the little swirly thing, a little bit of stamped grass down here, a little bit of stamped floral right here because he's on his way to get his honey. And the backing of it is the white of a napkin, and then a reproduction Sears catalog page. And again, this is a food container that's been recycled. We got our bee right there. Look how cute he is. So that's another little tag on the vintage dictionary page. So here's another decoupaged flower. Here's our little bee that's heading to the flower. And then on this one, I added a little bit of stamped grass as well. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, okay. Here's a page from that other floral book, but it's the matted version. A little bit of lace trim on the end, vintage lace trim. The black bean dyed typewriter paper, our yellow lined paper. Here is another floral decoupage napkin, and this one has 3 bees. So we have B1, B2, You can kind of, he's on the leaf, so it's kind of like, is he there? And then B3 coming. And that is on a vintage music sheet. Here's another one of that yellow, really dainty. You can probably not even tell. Can you even tell that there's lace right there? But there is lace right there. So just FYI. The music sheet with a little bit of washi tape. I'm sorry, not the music sheet. The map, the vintage map with a little bit of washi right there. And the vintage ledger paper. And I added a little bee sticker right there. Again, this was part of the paper pack. This is actually, the sticker was part of it was supposed to be a trim, like a border. That's what they're called, a border, but I cut them out individually. And here is some food dyed paper. We are rounding the end, guys, on this one. I appreciate you guys sticking around and seeing what we made with this journal and what's in it. She's a bigums. To me, it's for me. It's a bigums. I know it's only 3 signatures, but again, it's pretty cool. One of those cards that are part of the paper pack, Queen journaling card, and the reproduction invoice, vintage invoice. Here is another page from that houseplant book. And here is a card. So this is just a decoupaged napkin. You have 2 B stamps. There's a white napkin layer at the bottom, and then you have a yellow doily, paper doily, sewed all the way around, added a little bit of fabric, black fabric as the tag. And then just added this little heart sticker that was part of it as well. This is coffee dyed or tea dyed, just copy paper, and I added just a little bit of washi tape up there, a little floral washi tape. And this is the end of the signature. So there's another one of these cards. God, I cannot remember what these are called, but again, it had some flowers, so I thought it went well. And then this is actually a vintage April 8th, 1941, interest paid to maturity. So employed by, so this is a bond. I think it's an invoice that was paid $25. $25. 1941. It was put in here because it's yellow. And that's the end. And that's the back of your book cover. So that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I did try to make this video as quickly as I could, or go as quickly as possible, but it was a lot of pages and a lot to show, I think. If you're interested in this one, there will be a link in the description to my website. I will be announcing that soon. I did create a website so that you can purchase it there. If it's not there, I will have it in my Whatnot Market as well. Actually, I may have it in both places. And so there'll be a link to both places. So if you're interested, just look down below where you can find this. And if you're interested in seeing a little bit more about it, or hearing a little bit more about it, let me know in the comments as well. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.